need to. Just a reminder, at any point, if you need to take a break, feel free to. You can come into child's pose to take a break if you want to. So bringing your knees wide, big toes together, and forehead down onto the mat. That's a nice resting pose, or you can just simply lie down on your mat if you need to. One other thing is on the Zoom app, it doesn't work very well with music. So if you want to have some music, go and put some music on and then enjoy. We are going to start in Shavasana today. So coming down onto your mat, lying down on your back and extending your legs nice and long, bringing your legs about as wide as your mat, your arms down by your side, palms facing up. Tuck your chin towards your chest, lengthening the back of your neck. And just fully relaxing here, allowing your feet to drop to either side, your fingers to be loose and relaxed as they naturally curl in. Breathing through your nose and starting to pay attention to your breath today. Noticing what your breath feels like after your night of sleep. Not necessarily trying to change anything here, just simply observing. If all we did was lie here and focus on our breath, that would be enough. That would be enough practice for our morning. Paying attention and finding that present moment through the power of our breath. Maybe just simply from observing, you've begun to notice that your breath is lengthening, that it's a little smoother than when you first started. Working to try and smooth out the fluctuations of your breath. So notice if there's any catching or erraticness to the breath. As you smooth out those fluctuations between the inhale and the exhale and the inhale. So everything about the breath is easy, calm, and steady. We're going to bring one hand onto our stomach and one hand onto our chest now. I just want you to notice where your breath lands, which hand your breath lands in more over the next couple of breaths. Let's see if we can really draw the breath down to our lower hand, down into our belly. See if you can actually single out that area in your lungs so that just your belly fills up. And then let the breath go. On your next breath, see if you can single into just your upper hand. So just breathing into your chest, a more shallow breath. And then let that breath go. And we're going to aim to combine both of these together. So breathing into that bottom hand, feeling your belly press against your hand as you fill up with air, and then feel that breath then go into your chest as you expand your whole lungs, your rib cage, and then let the breath go. Let's do one more like that. Inhaling into the lower belly, into your rib cage, into your upper belly, your chest, to your collarbones, and then releasing the breath out. as you move through your practice. If we lose the breath, we lose our yoga and our focus. So anytime that you notice your breath has gone out of control, just regroup, recalibrate yourself with your breath. Let's start to bring our knees in towards our chest. Giving yourself a nice hug here, maybe rocking from side to side if that feels good. Still morning time, so going to be somewhat gentle with yourself, but if it feels particularly tight on one side, then just hang about on that side. And then we're going to roll ourselves over to either side, press yourself up and come into a tabletop position. So coming onto your hands and knees, stacking your hips over your knees, your shoulders over your wrists. And then just find any sort of free movement here. So maybe it's moving the hips from side to side or working into the shoulders, the neck, whatever you want. And then we'll work into some cat-cows. So on your inhale, drop your stomach down, arch through your back, lift up through your chest. As you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest, pull your belly in towards the spine. Inhale as you come back up. Drop the stomach down. Exhale as we round. Stretching out through the back. Inhale to come back up, arch the back, lift the chest, lift your tailbone. Exhale, rounding down. And then we'll inhale, come back through center. And let's just do a little bit of warming up into our wrists. So turn your fingers to face towards your knees, just as much as you can. If they're more out to the side, that's okay. Just going to your level. Tuck your toes and just start to move your weight back and forth. So keeping your arms straight here and starting to really work into the forearms. If you want a little bit more here, then just let your palms slightly lift up and off the mat. That's not needed though. Just go with what feels good for you. We're not trying to put ourselves in any painful point here. Okay. Let's release our hands back the normal way and come onto the back of your hands. Now you can do two hands at a time, you can do one hand at a time, see what works for you. It might be a little bit too much pressure to do two hands at a time, so in that case just do one. And either just stay here if this is enough for you, or if you want to find a little bit of rotation through your elbows. So the arms are staying straight, but we're just rotating our elbows in and out. If this is enough for you, just do this. If you want a little bit more, then bring your fingers in towards your palms, trying to make a bit of a fist, and then release it out. And then fingers in and release out. Fingers in, release out. Let's have a couple more seconds here. And release, and then coming back onto your hands. Keep your toes tucked, sit back on your heels, interlock your hands together, and we're just going to do some figure eights into our hands to get them nice and loose. Go in the other direction as well. And then let's shake our hands out and get rid of any of that sort of leftover stickiness in the hands. We're going to come into our first downward dog. So planting your hands at shoulder width apart. Shoulder width apart is not as wide as our mat. It is probably a shorter distance to what you think it is. We're roughly aiming for our thumbs to be at about 8 to 10 centimeters apart. And then spread your fingers, press your tips of your fingers and your knuckles into the mat. So in particular, that index knuckle, we really want to press that firmly into the mat to protect through our wrists. And then lift up and back into downward dog, making this first downward dog your own. So bending generously through one knee at a time if you want to, or any other movement that feels good for you. Taking a couple of moments here. And then moving into a place of stillness. Press the mat away, try to lengthen through your armpits and into your side body as you lift up through your tailbone and press your chest a little more towards your thighs. And then see if you can straighten through your legs. If you can, keeping the legs nice and active and engaged here. So your quads are really turned on and there's just a slight internal rotation of your inner thighs. If you need to have a little bend in your knees, then that is totally fine. It can take a little bit of pressure off your lower back. Just see what works for you. And we're actively drawing our heels down towards the mat. Doesn't matter if they don't touch the mat. We're just having that intention to bring the heels down, so that this is more a power pose. So we're really working our body here and we're being firm and engaged through our downward dog. Let's take one more breath here. And then come up high on your tippy toes. Bend your knees, look to the front of your mat and step to the top of your mat. Bringing your big toes together to meet, heels slightly apart. As you inhale, lengthen up halfway to a flat back position. Roll your shoulders back, just let your hands rest anywhere that's comfortable. Maybe it's your knees, your shins, or fingertips on the mat, whatever works, however your hamstrings are feeling, depending on the tightness that you have there. As you exhale, bend your knees and come into a forward fold. Let your head drop down, your chin towards your chest, lengthening through your whole back body. Lift up through your tailbone, but keep your stomach on your thighs here. Then start to strengthen into your legs, press your heels down, and as you inhale, sweep your arms and your whole body all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to your heart center. We're going to move through some sun salutations to warm ourselves up this morning. Let's start to move the body. On your inhale, raise your arms up, lift up, look up. As you exhale, forward fold all the way down through center. Inhale to lengthen up halfway, shoulders back again. And try to pull your shoulders back, even if your fingertips are on the mat. And then plant your hands, step back into a high plank. Round through your upper back so that your heart almost pulls in towards your spine. Press your heels towards the back of the mat, strong legs here, and just find a slight tuck of your tailbone so that your tailbone comes towards your heels and your stomach pulls in. We'll come to our knees for the first one. Let's inhale, shift the weight forward, shoulders over your fingertips, drop down to your knees, and then exhale, chaturanga arms all the way down. Untuck your toes. Inhale as you lift up to cobra or baby cobra. Shoulders back, chest nice and open. Exhale as you come back into downward dog. Take a deep breath in here. And a full breath out. And then come up high on your tippy toes, bend your knees, look forward, step to the top of the mat. Inhale into a halfway lift when you get there. Flat back here, as flat as we can get it. Exhale as you fold in, bend your knees, stomach on your thighs here. Chin comes towards your chest. Inhale, rise back up to standing, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands down to your heart center. Let's go again. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale as you forward fold all the way back to the mat. Inhale to lengthen to your halfway position. Plant your hands, step back into your high plank. Inhale, shift forward, use your knees if you want to, or exhale, lower straight down into chaturanga to the halfway point. Untuck your toes, inhale to upward dog or cobra again if that's what you're feeling. Exhale to downward dog. Full breath in here. Open your mouth, let the breath go. Come up high on your tippy toes, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of the mat, your choice. Into your halfway lift when you get there. Exhale as you fold in, bend your knees, stomach on your thigh. Inhale, rise back up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Let's do one more like that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale as you fold. Halfway lift, inhale, shoulders back, broaden through your collarbones. Plant your palms, step back, high plank. Inhale as you shift forward. Exhale as you lower chaturanga, elbows close to your side body. Inhale, upward dog, lift up through your thighs. Exhale, downward dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Come up to your tippy toes, bend your knees, step to the top of the mat. Into your halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. This time, we're going to bend our knees a little more generously, bring your hips down a little lower, so that your fingertips are just lightly touching the mat. And then keeping your hips nice and low where they are, we're going to rise up into chair pose. So we're keeping our knees bent. Bring your knees and your shin back a little bit. So you should be able to just slightly see your toes. Pull your rib cage in. So we don't want to sort of have that overarched back here with a duck butt. You want to pull the rib cage in so the stomach is working. And then with our arms extended, slightly turn your pinky fingers in towards each other to open up through your shoulders. From here, we're going to come into eagle arms. So let's bring our left arm underneath our right arm and head for either a single wrap or a double wrap if you can bring your palms together. Bring your elbows away from your chest, so lift up through your arms and then bring your pinky fingers forward so that we really stretch into our upper back here. We're going to shift the weight into our right leg. Pick your left knee up in towards your belly button and wrap your left leg over your right leg. Now, once again, you might have a single wrap or you may have a double wrap, bringing that foot behind your right calf muscle. Check in with your elbows again. Lift them up, pinky fingers forward. If you fall out, that's fine. Just come back in. Balancing poses are a little more challenging in the morning. We're going to take one more breath here. And then keep the arms as they are. We're going to unravel our legs, straighten that right leg, and head into a eagle arms warrior 3. So the left leg is coming all the way back into the air and our chest is coming down. So kind of like a T shape here with our eagle arms. Try and square off the hips, so rotate that left hip down. If balance is an issue, then press into your right big toe mound and keep that left foot flexed, so left pinky toes are pointing towards the mat. One more breath in and out. Rebend into that right leg and step back into our high crescent lunge. So come onto the ball of that left foot. A nice generous bend into the right knee. The right knee should be tracking right over your right ankle. And then your choice, if you need a little bend in your left leg for a bit of support, then go for it. Otherwise, try to keep that left leg nice and strong and straight. Lift the elbows up, lift your chest up. Sink your hips a little lower. And see if you can tune your right hip back slightly, your left hip forward. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, find warrior 2. So open your back foot up. Come, drop that heel down and then sink the hips down as you turn your chest towards the edge of the mat. So we've got a nice open hip position here. That left hip is drawing back and that right sit bone is sinking down. Wonderful. Let's take a deep breath in here. Lift up through your chest, look up. As you exhale, legs stay as they are, but humble warrior with our eagle arms. Lower your chest down in between your legs. Inhale as you come back up to warrior 2. Arch the back slightly, look up. Exhale as you come down. Inhale on the way up. Exhale down. One more like that. Big breath in, arch the back as you rise. Exhale as you drop into your humble warrior, bending a little more generously through that right knee if it has started to slack a little bit. And then we're going to release our arms. Fingertips on the mat, straighten that right leg. Bring your left hand onto your left hip. And we're going to, from this sort of more low position, we're going to come into our Trikonasana, our triangle pose. So I want you to rotate your left shoulder head back towards your left heel, and then try and use that right hand. So fingertips are either on the floor, maybe open the palm up. You can always bring your hand onto your shin if that's a little more comfortable. But try and use that right hand to then rotate your chest to be open towards the left side. Left shoulder is rolling back. And then turn your head to look up towards the sky. Maybe extend that left arm up as well. Finding our Trikonasana pose here. Active through both of your legs. So pull your kneecap up and get your quad really working here. And we're going to take that top arm, our left arm, and extend it forward towards the front of the mat, stretching into that left side body. Let's inhale, straighten the left arm back up. Exhale, extend the left arm forward. Inhale it back up. Exhale it forward. Inhale back up. On your exhale, bring your arm all the way forward, down and around. And we're going to face the long edge of our mat. So pivot those right toes so that they're pointing the long edge, and slightly pigeon toe your feet here. So the heels are out a little bit more towards the edges than the toes. On your inhale, find another halfway lift. So that same flat back position as we started with, but our legs are just a little wider this time. Exhale as you fold deep into your mat, chin towards your chest. We'll do that again. Inhale to a halfway lift. Broaden through your collarbones, shoulders back. Exhale as you fold. One more like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. And then your choice with your hands. So you might choose to grab hold of the outside of your feet and pull yourself down a little further. You could always grab hold of your big toes and find that same pulling motion. If you want to work into your shoulders a little bit more, interlock your hands behind your back and start to bring your hands forward over your head. You can even have a little bit of a sway from side to side if that feels nice. We've got one more breath here. And then we're going to inhale to a halfway lift. Release your hands. Walk your hands back to the front of the mat. Plant them down, shoulder width apart, and step back into your high plank. And then inhale as you shift forward. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take a deep breath in. And a big breath out. Let's come to the other side. Come up high on your tippy toes, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Straight into your halfway lift to gain length through the spine, and then fold in, rounding the spine, bending the knees. We're going to bend the knees even more, lower the hips down. Bring your fingertips onto the mat, lift your chest slightly, knees back, shift a little bit more weight into your heels, and then rise up into our chair pose. Wonderful. Setting yourself up here. Let's come to the other side. Wrap your right arm underneath your left arm this time. Lift your elbows up and pinky fingers come forward. Shift the weight into your left leg. Pick your right leg up and wrap it over your left leg into our eagle legs. Remember, 1 or 2 wraps. Maybe this side feels completely different to the other side. Start to really pay attention to your body. Tune in and notice what is right for this moment, not the previous or the future moment, but right now. Lift up through the elbows. Strong stomach here. For one more breath. And then unraveling your legs, arms stay as they are. We're heading for our warrior 3 with eagle arms. That right leg is coming all the way back, staying in the air. Straighten through both your legs as much as you can. Lower your chest down. I'm going to turn to face this way actually, so that you can see me a little better. Start to rotate that right hip down to square off through your hips. Pull your rib cage in. One more breath, keeping that right foot flexed. Bend into your left knee and step back into your high crescent lunge. Sink the hips nice and low here. Lift up through your chest, through your elbows. Pull back on your left hip, forward on your right hip. Strong through that right leg, particularly your right quad. Taking one more inhale. On your exhale, warrior two with eagle arms. Drop into the hips. Wonderful. Turn your chest towards the long edge of the mat again and drop that left sit bone just a little lower. Let's find our humble warrior. Take a deep breath in, arch the back slightly. Exhale into your humble warrior. Drop between your legs. Inhale as you come back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Moving with the breath. One more. Inhale up. Exhale to humble warrior. Dropping your upper body, releasing your arms all the way down. Wonderful. Straighten through that left leg. We're finding that Trikonasana, so slowly and with awareness. Right hand is coming onto the right hip. We're going to press that left glute forward so that our hips are sort of pressing towards the knife edge of the mat again. And then position that left hand, lift your chest slightly, extend your chest forward towards that left foot, and then rotate that right shoulder head back as you open your chest up towards the right. And then maybe we look up, maybe our right hand comes up. Without actually moving your feet, can you actively pull your feet towards each other to fire up through your inner thighs? Inhale here, reach up through those right fingertips. As you exhale, bring your right arm forward, stretching into the right side body. Inhale as you come back up. Exhale, stretch the arm forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. One more. Inhale, arm rises. Exhale, bring it forward, down and around as we find our wide-legged forward fold legs. Again, slightly pigeon toe your feet towards each other. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale as you fold in. Inhale to a halfway lift again. This time we're going to plant our right hand on the mat. If it doesn't quite touch the mat, you can always have a block or a book or even a cushion underneath it. And then we're going to raise our left arm up as we come into a gentle twist. Exhale your left arm back down. Inhale your right arm up. Turn and look towards that right thumb. Exhale, hand down. Inhale as we come and twist to the left. Exhale back down. Inhale to the right. One more on each side. Exhale down. Inhale left. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your hands back to the front of your mat. Step back into your high plank. Inhale as you shift your weight forward. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And then come down into child's pose. Bring your knees wide, your big toes together, forehead down onto the mat. Take a deep breath in. Open your mouth, let the breath go. One more like that. Deep breath into the back of your kidneys. And let it all go. Okay. We're going to move through that flow one more time, a little faster this time. This time you know where you're going. When we repeat certain movements, it gives ourselves the opportunity to notice the more subtle or smaller things that are going on. The general movements that you're going to flow through, you've done. You've already got knowledge there. But what else can you learn about yourself, about your body, and about your practice? When you're ready, joining me in downward dog. Let's come up high on our tippy toes, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Bend your knees, lower your hips, inhale into chair pose. Exhale, sink a little lower. Bring your left arm underneath your right arm, wrap your arms into our eagle arms. Shift the weight into your right leg, pick your left leg up. Eagle legs, wrap the left leg over the right. Drop the hips a little lower. Lift your elbows up, pinkies forward. Slowly unravel your legs as you extend that left leg back into warrior three. Full breath in here. Lower the left hip. On your exhale, rebend into the right knee. Step back into your high crescent lunge. Let's find a gentle backward bend if you want here. So when you inhale, lift up through your chest and start to move your chest back as you look up. You're going to have to be strong in your legs here to hold the balance. Let your inhale pull you back up through center. Exhale into warrior two. Back heel drops. Bending into that right knee. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, humble warrior. One more like that. Inhale as we rise back up. Exhale to humble warrior. Release your arms, straighten that front leg. Right fingertips on the mat, left hand on your left hip. Rotate your left hip and your chest to be nice and open. And then extend your left arm up as you look up. Deep breath in here. On your exhale, left arm all the way forward, down and around into our wide-legged forward folds. Inhale to a halfway lift. This time, exhale, come over towards your left leg. Inhale back to a halfway lift. Exhale, come over towards your right leg. Folding over. One more on each leg. Inhale, halfway lift at center. Exhale, fold over the left leg. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, come back to the right. Inhale, back through center. Extend your chest forward so your back is nice and flat here. And then walk your hands back to the front of the mat. Step back into your high plank. Let's move through our vinyasa. Inhale, forward. Exhale, chaturanga, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Full breath in. Open your mouth, clear it out. Come up high on your tippy toes. Bend your knees, make your way to the top of the mat. Into a halfway lift when you get there. Elongate the spine, bring that chest forward. Exhale, fold in. Bend your knees, stomach to your thighs. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, sink a little lower. The right arm is going to wrap underneath the left this time. Find those eagle arms, lift through the elbows, open through your chest here. Shift the weight into your left leg, pick your right leg up. Wrap that right leg over the left. Press your left big toe down into the mat. It's going to help here. Slowly unravel the legs. Warrior three, eagle arms. Right leg comes back. Straighten through both your legs as much as you can. Right pinky toes pointing down. Lower your right hip down. Rebend into the left leg. Step back, high crescent lunge. Lift up, take a deep breath in, and then find that backward bend if you want to go there. As you look up, elbows up. Fingers now coming towards the back of the mat. Inhale, pull yourself back through center. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, humble warrior, fold between your legs. Inhale as you rise back up. Exhale as you come down. Staying all the way down. Releasing your hands, straighten through that left leg. Left fingertips find their place just near your foot. Right hand comes to your hip. Turn and rotate your chest Open, use that bottom arm, that left arm, as a bit of an anchor point here to open your chest further. And then right arm to the sky. Big breath in as you extend up, stretch through your shoulders, reach through your fingertips. On your exhale, right arm comes forward, down and around into our wide-legged forward fold. Legs. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift once again. Exhale, folding in and taking your choice again. Maybe hold on to the feet, the toes, interlock the hands behind your back, stretch into the shoulders. You can take a headstand if that's part of your practice here. Really anything you want. We're here for 2 more breaths. Wherever you are, coming back. Inhale into a halfway lift. Walk to the front of the mat, step back, high plank. Let's move through our vinyasa. Last one, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga, elbows come in. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And we're going to come into pigeon pose for a bit of a stretch. So inhale your right leg up, 3-legged dog. And then bring your right knee to your right wrist, right foot over towards the left, and lower that left knee down. Walk your left knee back as much as you can, and then come up onto your fingertips. You can point that right foot if it feels more comfortable, and if you need to bring your right foot in towards your groin a little more, that may feel better. Getting a nice stretch into the right side of our hip, into our piriformis. Let's keep the chest lifted nice and high for 1 more breath. And then take a lengthening breath in as the top of your head extends up. On your exhale, walk your hands forward and come down. Maybe you could just come down onto your forearms, or maybe you want to come all the way down to your forehead. The choice is yours. Starting to calm the breath. If it's gone out of control at all, taking that control back. And noticing the physical effects that you can create with your breath. So if your heart is beating a little faster right now, as you take control of the breath, you can notice the sensation of your heart rate slowing. Final breath here. Starting to come back up onto your hands. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and step back into downward dog. Let's come to the other side. Inhale your left leg up, 3-legged dog. And then bring it forward into pigeon. Left foot over towards the right. Right knee drops. Walk that right knee back as much as you can. If you notice that your left hip is kind of rolling over towards the left, see if you can pull that right hip forward a little bit more. You can always put a cushion or a block or a book or anything you've got underneath that left hip. And then come up onto your fingertips. Deep breath in, open the chest, roll your shoulders back. Holding here. Finding that elongation through the spine, almost as though someone is pulling you up from the top of your head. Let's find our sleeping pigeon. Take a deep breath in here. And then coming all the way forward to the resting point of your choice, whether that is forehead, maybe even you have a pillow or a bolster or something for your head to rest on. And tune in, go to your inner world. focus the mind. As we focus the mind in the morning, bring movement to the body and awareness to the breath. We've already had 3 wins to start our morning. If we've done just those 3 things, mind, body, and breath, and then you start your day winning and doing some of those more positive things for yourself, we're really setting ourselves up for a wonderful day. Final breath here. And then lifting back up onto your hands, just roll yourself over onto your left hip. Bring your right leg around and we're going to come down onto our back once again. Lower yourself down. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Rock from side to side. Might feel completely different, this rock, from when you first started class, now that we've got that fluid movement into our body. Let's finish up with our happy baby pose. Bring your knees wide, elbows inside your knees. Take hold of the outside of your feet. Bring your feet so that the soles of your feet are parallel to the ceiling, so they're facing up. And try and pull your knees down towards the mat. Have a little rock from side to side if that feels good for you. You could also play around with straightening through one leg at a time if that feels nice, or maybe even both legs at a time. Really just going for the sensation here, forgetting about the shapes that we're making and focusing more on what feels good for you. One more breath here. And let's release our legs into our final place of rest before the full day begins. Bring your feet as wide as the mat. Bring your arms down by your side, palms facing up. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Let yourself enjoy this peace and stillness with your body fully relaxed. All of the tension just melting away. Reminding yourself that in this moment, there's nowhere else to be. There's nothing else to do, but simply be here. Be here now. Be present. Be conscious and aware, yet relaxed and calm. Slowly starting to bring your awareness back to your physical body. Wiggle your toes. Touch every finger with your thumb. Roll your head to the right and the left. And on your next breath in, reach your arms above your head, stretch through your whole body, reach through your fingertips, point your toes, slightly arch your back as you lift your chest just a little bit, and then let it all go. Bend your knees and roll over to your favorite side, maybe using your arm as a pillow here. Keeping your eyes closed, bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Inhale, raise your arms above your head, let your palms meet at the top. Exhale your hands down to your heart center. Relax your shoulders as you bow your head. Starting our day with these 3 wins: movement in the body, concentration in the mind, focus on the breath. We've already done 3 great things for ourselves today. Let's take it one step further and set an intention for the remainder of our day. How you would like it to go. Thank yourself for practicing. Thank you all for joining me. Namaste. Thank you guys. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I will be back here tonight at 6 p.m. for deep stretch, and then there's a class tomorrow morning as well. I will keep you updated, but thank you for joining me and have a great day.